when mommy says stop, you say okay.
I'm just a baby.
But you still have to say okay, mom.
I'm just a baby.
Since you got your degree and you know every fucking thing.
So this recipe on TikTok from the homie Meat Dad.
Take the chicken, dip in a container of water. When it stops dripping, put in the pan. Your chicken will be extremely crispy.
Figured I'm gonna give it a try, and I'm scared because oil and water, not generally a good idea. So I added the juice of a lime, some paprika, some saffron, salt, garlic powder, onion powder, and sage. Mix that together, and for the breading, there's a cup of cornmeal, a cup of all-purpose flour, some salt, some paprika, and then I coated these guys and then took them to the oven. Wanted to make sure that my oil was exactly at 355, perfect frying temperature. Here we go. Unbelievable. No spatter, no mess. So awesome. So I did it for the rest of the chicken, and pretty damn crispy. It works. It's freaking delicious. Trust in water. Would you ever try Doritos with bananas and American cheese? Doritos have an origin in Disneyland. They were served at Casa de Frito at Disneyland in the 60s. The staff would take leftover tortillas, cut them up, season them, and serve them. Doritos were first launched in 1966. The name Dorito is the diminutive of Dorado for gold. So Dorito, little fried golden thing. The very first Doritos were plain flavored. Then in 1968, taco emerged. Nacho cheese debuted in 1974. There have been at least 100 different varieties of Doritos. Kraft started in 1903 by James L. Kraft. Kraft made his mark by creating processed cheese that wouldn't readily spoil. In 1916, he got a patent for his process where he would heat cheddar at about 175 degrees, whisk it continuously, pour the molten hot cheese on a cold stainless steel table, use an ice rolling pin, make a sheet of the cheese, and then slice it. Bananas are actually herbs related to palms, lilies, and orchids. Banana comes from the Arabic word banan, which means finger. Bananas were first introduced to the Western world by Alexander the Great, first brought to the United States in 1876. This crazy combination comes from my buddy Tim. Here it is, Doritos with American cheese and banana. You know what? That's awesome. The sweetness, the creaminess, looks weird, sounds weird, but this is the good kind of weird. Every holiday season in New York City, the Bryant Park Holiday Market comes around, serving up unbelievable, delicious delicacies from all over the world, something for everybody and to suit every taste. And if you're into truffles, then the Truffliest is the place for you. Now, they serve up a burger and a cheesesteak that seem to be pretty popular. Their menu also boasts the Truffliest burger and Truffliest cheesesteak, something listed only for market price and something that they only serve 20 of each day. So I got there early, came hungry, and got one of the regular burgers, one of the Truffliest, one of the regular cheesesteaks, and one of the Truffliest. Market price around $40 for each. The Truffliest burger came out with a gigantic egg-looking thing on it, which turned out to be fried burrata. Then the Truffliest cheesesteak came out, and I admit it looked kind of odd. Everything was just kind of white and pale yellow with these two really pale meatballs in the middle of it that I guess turned out to be foie gras, which they then torched into the cheese on top of the meat. After my balls got toasted worse than when I sat on a hot bench during summer camp, they added on loads of shaved truffle. The Truffliest burger was definitely a sight to behold and definitely visually appealing, but it looked gigantic, and I really didn't think it'd be possible for any human, even me, to take a bite of it. Pardon the unsightly goop in my mustache. As delicious as the truffle was, and as ooey gooey as all that cheese was, they had overcooked the burger. It's all well and good to put amazing stuff on a burger, but if the burger's not good, what's the point? Then I tried the regular burger, and holy shit was it better. Like seriously way better. The burgers were cooked perfectly, super juicy, the cheese was creamy, the bun was slightly buttery, had the right amount of crunch, an absolutely first-class burger and half the price of the other one. On to the cheesesteak. Now normally I'm a little bit of a purist. I like my whiz wit, very easy, shout out to Philadelphia. But I have to say, this was a deeply respectable cheesesteak. The meat got a little dry at points, but again, cheese super duper creamy, great choice of bread. Definitely a delicious cheesesteak, and if that was all I got, I would be very, very pleased. Then I tried the mega expensive Trufflia's cheesesteak. Look at this thing. That little bit that fell off is probably $7 or $8 right there. But it was good. Like, oh my Lord, religious experience good. Like, I don't want something this expensive that's just a sandwich to be this good. But it is. It's just that good. So, was it worth it spending nearly twice as much for the cheesesteak or for the burger? In my opinion, the burger, absolutely not. The cheesesteak, it's worth it if you're a big-time truffle lover, have no problems with foie gras, and want to try something new and super decadent. Happy holidays!
Would you ever eat flaming hot Cheetos and cream cheese? The story of Cheetos begins with the story of Fritos. In 1932, a man named C.E. Doolin bought a special corn chip recipe and maker for $100 and began manufacturing Fritos. The name Frito basically just means little fried thing. In 1948, he pumped a bunch of air into the cornmeal, making a puffed fried corn chip. Doolin partnered with H.W. Lay. Herman Lay was a very shrewd businessman. When World War II ended, he bought a load of surplus powdered cheese for pennies on the dollar. They took Doolin's puffed up Fritos, added the powdered cheese, and the Cheeto was born. According to Frito-Lay records, the origin of Flaming Hot Cheetos goes back to 1989 as part of a project spearheaded by a woman named Lynn Greenfield. Another version involves a man named Richard Montañez, who was actually a marketing director at Frito-Lay, who claimed that he had created this flavor when he was a janitor. In 2021, Frito-Lay issued a statement saying, "None of our records indicate that Richard Montañez was involved in any capacity with the Flaming Hot test market. We do not attribute the creation of Flaming Hot Cheetos to him." The line has actually expanded to 21 different kinds of Cheetos in North America alone, and Cheetos are sold in more than 36 countries. The U.S. Food and Drug Administration classifies cream cheese as any cheese with at least 33% milk fat and a moisture content no higher than 55%. Cream cheese is essentially fresh cheese, in some cases unripened, mixed with cream. In the U.S., the first cream cheese is widely accepted to have been created in 1873 by a man named William Lawrence, who was a dairyman in Chester, New York. He combined Neufchâtel cheese with cream, and cream cheese was born. The first cream cheese brand was launched by him in 1877. And in 1880, that brand took on a very interesting name, the name of a different city that was known for having incredible dairy and pasture land surrounding it, Philadelphia. So all cream cheese, especially Philadelphia cream cheese, comes from New York, baby. This particular combination comes from the homie Pete Wentz. I had seen a video of he and his Fall Out Boy bandmate Patrick Stump dipping Flaming Hot Cheetos in cream cheese. It's good enough for Rockstar, it's good enough for me. Let's do it. What's not to like? Cheese on cheese, crunchy on creamy. I also forget that Flaming Hot Cheetos have like a bit of a sour note. Kind of reminds me of tahini. But that sour also works really great against all the creaminess. This is delicious. Let me know if you have another crazy combo I should try. Super easy snacks for the Super Bowl.
Get your favorite cornbread mix, a can of jalapenos, more on those later, and a can of sweet corn. Then you want to grease your pan, preheat your oven to 400 degrees. Now here's the thing, you want to cook it longer than it says on the package because we're adding a lot of stuff. It comes out pretty spicy, so if you don't like spicy, cut the amount of jalapenos in half. And it doesn't matter if it says muffin on the box, it's all the same shit. Anyway, after this, we're going to crack in an egg, add a third cup of whole milk, whisk it together until we get a nice smooth paste like this. Then add the jalapenos. Remember what I said. We're going to add the corn, and we're going to add 1 cup of shredded white cheddar cheese. Best to shred your own. Mix it all together so it's even, and then spread it into the pan evenly. Put it in. Take it out about 25 minutes later when it's golden brown, and tackle it with your teeth. Have a good game.